How you doing today, Brandon Jones?
I'm doing great.
Excellent.
I'm ready to party, Hubert. I'm ready to party.
I'm telling you, when Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout comes out, you may or may not be doing great.
You gotta be ready to fail. It's like Bloodborne. You gotta prepare to die going into this. Like you just.
I had the chance to play this for just about an hour over the beta weekend, Jones, and I was getting strong Monopoly and Mario Party levels of jolly anger.
Jolly anger.
Jolly anger.
It's such a hashtag.
This game is so fun, Jones. It is primed to blow the hell up. So I played about 7 or 8 mini games in my time playing. I played like 2 or 3 matches, and the premise basically is you design your little character, and of course there's like a full battle pass with that. You know, you can unlock different costumes as you go along. So I just have like my basic little guy with swim trunks, and the basic premise is it's every person for themselves, 60 players, mini games at a time. The mini games last like anywhere from, one of them was like a minute to 4 or 5 minutes tops, not even. One of the first ones I played was Seesaw, and it was so freaking annoying and fun and awesome because everyone is trying to run to the end of the stage, and there's these giant seesaws, but as everyone is jumping on one side, Jones, it's raising and you're falling off. So it's just like, please don't jump on my seesaw. I'm trying to get through. And like, you're minding your own business. And here come like 30 people to slam you down.
So did you start to recognize some of these? Like when you would go into an area, would you be like, no, the seesaws again? Like, was it jumbled in a way that was unpredictable? Or could you start to kind of tell like,
yeah,
oh,
it's
here we go,
totally random. Totally random. So again, I only played for about an hour, like 3-4 games. And rarely saw a duplicate. Saw a duplicate like once or twice.
Okay.
So yeah, Seesaw was a really good one. Then there were 2 that were kind of familiar. There was DoorDash, which you have to dive through a door, and some of the doors just don't give, so you just like go head first into the door, and you get stuck there. But when a door does give way, once again, 40, 50 people crowding through this tiny little space, jumping on each other. You're getting knocked over. So it's just annoying and frustrating in the best way. The most wholesome, playful, jolly way.
Are the controls kind of the same thing? It seems kind of wobbly. Everybody just seems like kind of...
The controls were actually really nice. Okay. There's just 3 buttons. There's jump, dive, and grab. Mm-hmm. I don't know what they're going to do with the grab because it does have some utility, which I'll explain in a little bit. But also somebody could full-on sabotage. I guess that's just the name of the game. Somebody could full-on sabotage you, Jones, and just grab you, even though you both have to get to the end.
Oh.
Like someone can just like, you can break free, but on some of these, like someone grabbing you for a few seconds is you're done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Then there was Gate Crash, which was similar to DoorDash and Gate Crash, except this one had the doors going up and down and kind of out of sync. So at one point I'm like ready for the door to open and I'm just standing there and it just doesn't, and everyone is just, see you later. So it's out of control. It's unpredictable. And then a few more. There was Whirligig, which kind of like an obstacle course. There's like big fans moving and kind of these circular kind of treadmill-like devices. And you're in the sky, so if you fall off, you go back to a checkpoint. So
you're not out completely.
You're not full. Not on some of these. So yeah, some of them, if you fall, you go back to a checkpoint. You still might have time to catch up and win. It's not an immediate, oh, I'm done. You still have a chance because it whittles it down. The game's whittled down. It starts at 60, then goes to about like 45, I think a lot of the first rounds were, so 15 people get cut. And then like maybe down to 30, 20. So it's kind of a slow cutting process, which I really appreciated. Then, Jones, I did not expect this. Unpredictable. I'm sure they showed this in trailers back in the day. Team Tail Tag, Uneasy Alliance, where it was 4 different teams and the bottom 2 teams would get cut. And This one was a little frustrating at first. I wonder if they're going to patch this out, because what you had to do is you did have to grab someone. You have to grab them and take their tail. Except some of the costumes had tails built into them. There was a wolf costume, Jones. So I kept grabbing the wolves, and it was like not giving me their tail. And I was like, oh, that's just their skin. That's not the device that I need to grab. So that was a little confusing at first. I wonder if they're going to change that up. Or, again, minor nitpick. It only took me a minute to fully realize. Then my number one game, Jones, Slime Climb. This was like in American Gladiators.
The whole thing's American Gladiators. It's the number one vibe I get.
So true. This one was just a obstacle course race. Lava is filling behind you, or slime is slowly filling up behind you, and it's just a race. There are things coming out of the wall. It's like Super Mario Brothers. Things sticking out of the wall, balls coming down to hit you, whirly things trying to knock you off, everyone jumping on each other, grabbing each other. Just an amazing game. Slime Climb, my number one favorite so far. And then the last two I played was Don't Fall Off. This one, again, the American Gladiators and Mario Party vibes, Jones. Don't Fall Off.
Yeah, I was going to say, with all the Mario Party you've played, I imagine these are skills you've been honing for a very long time.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, is if you can even be skilled at this game. I think it's like 70% luck, maybe 30% skill.
The patience, not being quick to anger is part of the skill set.
Definitely. The zen. You're so right. For sure. Don't fall off.
You start the next match angry. It's not going to work out well for you.
Don't Fall Off was pretty fun. You're on a small platform. It was near the end, so there were only like 10 or 15 of us. And big, giant blocks are coming at you to try to knock you off, but there's little gaps. So you have to keep dodging all the blocks coming at you, and it was so satisfying, Jones, because somebody grabbed me and I broke free, and then they got trapped and pushed off. And this is if you fall, you're done. You're eliminated. So that was the whole point of that one.
Wow.
And then the final round, I don't know if this is the final round every time, because I did see some Twitter clips showing this as the finale, so maybe there's a small pool of the finale games. Mm-hmm. It was called Hexagon, and there are like 5 layers of hexagons, and as soon as somebody walks on one, it disappears. So once you fall all the way to the bottom, you're eliminated. So the goal is to stay afloat, and you can like box people out, but then they can jump at least a blank hexagon space, so you can like jump maybe one space over. So people were like just trying to trap people. Then people were just like falling through automatically to get to the bottom, because then they had the entire thing to themselves. So there is some strategy there with the last game, and I ended up getting like second or third place. I didn't win one, Jones, but later on.
Does the whole thing just seem like madness, or could you kind of tell that some players were like getting good at it? Could you kind of see some, maybe do you recognize names that were like, he won again, or
there's definitely someone who's never played the mini game versus someone who has.
Sure.
For example, DoorDash was when you had to slam through the door, if you came up behind someone who'd already slammed through the door and you were trying to get in, there was a tiny little gap that you needed to jump. And I didn't know that at first. So then that was the skill I would take to the next one. And the whirly gig. There's an optical illusion where you're running up this hill and you think you're just going straight, and there's a gap right there that you have to jump. So those little environmental design tips that you can learn and carry over definitely are really cool. For sure.
It's like the hole in Groundhog Day. You're just like, the third time, you're like, no, I'm not stepping in this.
Yeah. So, yeah, just a really fun progression. So snappy, so easy to play. I mean, it was closed beta. There weren't probably not too many players, so the game took like a minute or so to populate, but I'm sure when this thing is on PS Plus and out for the real world,
they're working hard to get this in front of everybody, yeah.
Yeah. Full-on battle pass. If you win a game, you get a crown, which is another type of currency. The shop wasn't open yet, so I didn't really get to see that.
Okay.
But the battle pass was active, and I saw the rewards. And it was just skins. It was like the top half hot dog was one, and then like a couple down the line was a lower hot dog one. They had crowns on the battle pass, so if you don't win a lot, you can at least maybe get some crowns that way, which you could spend in the shop, which is really cool. Really, Jones, my only criticism for this game is no public lobbies.
Yeah.
Or no private lobbies, I'm sorry.
Right.
Because, I played for an hour and I was good. Just playing by myself against randoms, like, it was so much fun, but it's like, I'm good. I can only do that for so long. All I want is to be able to enter a room code on Twitch and have the community jump in.
Because
that is just unlimited fun.
Because that's when grabbing really starts to come into play. If all 8 of us are playing, and Damiani's won like 4 times, we start a new one and like Ian just grabs Damiani like, no. Yeah.
You can play with, I think, 4 of your friends now. You can invite some friends. You can play with 4 people now. But yeah, there needs to be private lobbies. They've teased a bunch of new features coming down the line. I really don't even think they knew how big this game was going to blow up. I saw their community manager say, our game's not even out yet and we're number 4 on Steam. This is crazy. Just everyone freaking out about this game.
I saw them
it's ready to blow up.
I saw them beat Fortnite just for like a hot second on Twitch. They were like, ah!
Yeah. And then, of course, minor concern is like how many mini games there are. How, if you keep replaying these, are these going to get tiring? Mm-hmm. That's something we're not going to know until the game is out, until we're playing it. And I think playing with Twitch viewers over and over will alleviate that. And obviously, they've already teased more mini games post-launch coming down the line. So this is definitely the start of something that could be so great. So pumped.
Well, I think about something like Overcooked, and even going back to levels I had played a bunch of times, just being more comfortable with the gameplay, with the controls, and that game's just chaos. I mean, it's just I'm like, I'm like, what am I doing to myself? By like subjecting myself, but like you get it right, and it feels so good.
Totally.
And I bet this is. When we do previews and stuff, like I'm always curious, like how does it control what progress, which you addressed was one of the big questions. Like how does Battle Pass work with skins? Like how do what's the benefit there? But like I'm looking forward to just watching this. Like the clips that like Twitch has been retweeting some stuff, and it's all so funny. Because no one's confident, nobody. It's one thing if there's like a battle royale, you're like, all right, well, I'm already bringing my shooter skills into this. You're like, sniper rifle, I'm set. I have my comfort blanket here. Whereas it's just madness,
pure chaos and madness. Yeah, Jones. It's
like Double Dare. It's just like how do you
how do you just hilarious? You can't even. There's just hilarious moments where I'm trying to climb just this step up. And 40 people are trying to do the same, just slamming down, jumping, and your body is just flailing. It's just flailing around, and you can't even do anything. It's just anarchy.
I think that's the greatest thing because there is a direct line you can draw between this and Mario Party. Like a lot of the inspirations, a lot of the best ideas. I would be shocked if the developers of this game hadn't played a ton of Mario Party. Totally. But just this introduction of so many people, and based on what you've been saying, I think the thing I'm hearing, what I like the best of what I'm hearing is that the number of people are also affecting beyond just, we got to fit into this one area, but like we're all on platforms, and like if there's 20 people or 40 or 60, it's a whole different ball game. That's really fun, and I hope they take that concept and have it going forward, almost like in a Blue Shell kind of way, where like maybe if you did really good and you're at a later part of the course, the people at the beginning of the course are still messing with parts of where you're trying to get through, or like they're hitting buttons that are shooting arrows at you, or so, I don't know.
Totally, like getting an early lead on some of these was absolutely so important because again, everyone is banging into each other, and if you're in the lead, it's kind of like you have a little space, little breathing room. So absolutely.
It's like racing in Grand Theft Auto Online, dude. Like that starting line, you lose 70% of the racers right there. Everyone, and then like there's no way they're gonna catch up. So that which makes me wonder, as somebody who's played a lot of Battle Royale, just competitive gaming where you just get knocked out through no fault of your own. I wonder how quick it is to like get back into a new game, or to try something, or maybe it's like I don't want to play this game. I just want to play for 5 minutes. I just want to jump into something tiny. I wonder if they're going to splinter it off in different ways, or just make it as accessible as possible for people to just keep jumping in and trying new stuff.
Totally.
But just like what they were saying, like we're a smaller team than most, and so they're gonna add as much stuff as they can, moving forward.
Yeah.
But still not out yet, right? We're still
not out. Coming out on the 4th. Coming out on PS Plus, Jones. One of the best moves ever. This game, it's ready to blow up.
Yeah. And for sure, look to Easy Allies for more coverage on this. We're going to be screaming at each other and smiling at the same time.
Fall Guys only Twitch channel incoming.
Woo!